I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. John over at Scout Crafter mentioned that when he used 5-gallon Gerry cans, they were really hard to pour out of. They tended to splash all over the place and leak. Well, I'll show you what I did. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I have some 5-gallon Gerry cans. I'm up to 6 now, and when I find one for a good price, I usually snatch it up and keep it. The reason I got them is I like to use what I call Prohibition Gas in my small engines in my old tractor. Prohibition Gas has no alcohol in it. The alcohol causes steel gas tanks to rust and just destroys them. So these Gerry cans are made out of steel. Using alcohol-infused gasoline destroyed them. Matter of fact, I had one I had to solder some patches on the bottom of it. So finding out that there was a gas station in town that sold alcohol-free gasoline meant that I could keep my small engines running a lot longer. And these 5-gallon gas cans then became something I could really use. That's when I started getting them in earnest. So, John's right. They're a problem. I was having a dickens of a time pouring gasoline out of a hole that size into a fill spout on a lawnmower. So what I was doing is I started transferring the gasoline into a plastic 5-gallon 2.5. So what I did, I started pouring the gasoline from these into a 2.5-gallon plastic gas can. That way I had a lightweight gas can I could use to fill the lawnmower. That worked, but I still had a problem with this big pour spout. I was using a big funnel, and having the small gas can on the ground meant that the big funnel was short enough that I was able to pour the gasoline in fairly well. But when a plastic gas can is sitting there empty and you put a big funnel in it, it gets tippy. So I was just having a dickens of a time with it. So I kept looking for something that would work better. And this is something that my brother had. It's a aluminum die-cast aluminum fitting that you can thread into the tank. Takes the same rubber seal that you use on the regular gas caps, this little flat rubber seal. Takes the same kind of seal to close it off. And with a new rubber seal in it, this part didn't leak. But every time I tipped the gas can up and any gas got into this hose, it just poured right out the side. It's an old thing. And I think it's long past usefulness. The flexible spout, I tried putting all kinds of things on it to get it to seal up. Nothing worked that remained flexible and actually sealed anything. So every time I tipped this over, I had gas running out of this until I got it to the point where it was vertical, which meant that I could tip the gas can up, but then air doesn't get into the gas can very easily. So then I had a problem with it. Gluck, gluck, gluck. It took a long time to get any gas out of it. So in the end, this just didn't work. Interesting artifact. I don't know who made it or where it came from or anything other than it was something my brother had. So to try and get around that, I said, well, that one's old, I'll get a new one. So I bought this on eBay. Don't waste your money. Problem I had with this one, same exact problem with this one. This leaks like a sieve. Gasoline all over the place, leaked like a sieve, didn't like it. So I used it twice. It got put back on the bench. I didn't recognize that there was a common problem. This one has a brass screen in the end of it, and this one is neck down. So whatever flows through this hits the end there and slows down. the gasoline can't just flow straight through it. So it puts back pressure in the system, that fills up this, and any back pressure means that it starts weeping out all these little slots and holes in the line. Now, I had metal gas cans when I was a kid. The little 1 gallon square rectangular gas cans used to be everywhere. Never had a problem. Same kind of neck. All you did was just bend it, pour the gasoline in. Didn't have a screen in the end. So the screen in the end puts back pressure in it, causes pressurizing in that tube, and it flows out all over the place. Well, my friend Lewie McNeely sent me this. And I thought, well, it's that coiled metal strip. I don't know if this is going to work or not. But it's kind of cool. This cam lever here, when I pull on it, the cam rotates and squeezes this metal washer down, crimps this rubber ring, and forces it to expand. So when I set it in the threads and do this, it seals right up. Does it quick and easy. Don't have to have this little thing, and I don't have to screw it in and fiddle around with trying to line up the threads to get started. I just put the nozzle in and away it goes. Now this doesn't have anything in the end. It's just a straight shot. It's got a thread on the end where you can put a cap on it, and I imagine if you put a cap on it and poured it into it, it would leak like a sieve too. But because it's an open-ended tube, there's no back pressure in here. So when I pour from this into the 5 gallon can, it just pours. It just pours just fine. Now there's a little bit of gasoline that you can see like a sheen on the outside of the tube. But whatever little bit comes out runs down to the end and goes right into the gas can. Not a problem. So, because I had this one, and it's got a little kink here in the side, and I thought maybe the kink in the side was giving me a problem. So I ran across this one, and I said, no kink, and it's a little longer. Advantage maybe, I don't know. But when I put it into the gas can and tighten that down, it doesn't expand. This little rubber washer is long past its useful life. It will no longer seal up. I think it got hard, and even though the cam is still working, it's just not enough to force that to open up. So when I thought about making this video, I thought, I wonder if I can get one of these gas spouts somewhere on the internet. Well, I went looking for gas spouts, and what I was finding is things like this. And something that went with a different kind of gas can that clipped onto the European style gas can. Wouldn't work on these because these either have to have a thread or something that grips the inside of that thread there. Then I stumbled across a picture of one that looked just like this, complete with a cam. It was brand new. And it was a diesel spout. That was the operative word, diesel. Evidently, some of the newer equipment has diesel engines. Go figure. And when you put one of these in and you pour diesel through it, it barely leaks at all. Diesel's a lot thicker. So, having discovered that, I thought, well, I'll just get one of those. They're 50-some bucks. I already have this one. Despite being ambidextrous and fairly physically fit, I am unable to pick up one in each hand and pour them at the same time. So one spout seems to be more than enough of what I'm doing. And if I ever do need one, I now know that I can order a diesel fitting. I'll put a link to where I found them online down in the description. So, if you're running these metal Gerry cans, which I highly recommend, they're very good. There's newer models and older models, and some from the Korean War and some from, this is World War II. I'm very happy with mine. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.